Yep. Well, the title explains itself. After what we just saw with John Cena and Cody, you already know. It was more like uncomfortable than uncontrollable. You know, because there was no way I was buying the John Cena turn. But let's see if CJAX feels the same way.
Yo, Smackdown was absolute garbage, and we're going to get to that in a second, because I don't even feel like even talking about Smackdown besides the opening segment with Cena and Cody and all that stuff. We need to talk about the current state of this garbage product week after week. Number one, why in the world is nobody around? Carmelo Hayes is in catering. Your WWE champion John Cena shows up maybe once a month if he feels like it. Roman Reigns shows up once every 2 or 3 months if he feels like it. Logan Paul shows up when he feels like it. Randy Orton just disappears after some PLEs for months and then comes back when he feels like it. Cody Rhodes wrestles once every 7 or 8 weeks. Gunther wrestles once every 2 months. CM Punk wrestles every 5 or 6 weeks at this point. Seth Rollins is injured, unfortunately. And The Rock, the final boss, is down in Hawaii drinking his Terramana and having libations with Cody Rhodes. Triple H, the guy making the show, is in the White House popping champagne and popping water bottles and filming hype reels. This dude hasn't booked a good show from start to finish since SummerSlam or WrestleMania 40, but he's in the White House filming hype reels and signing off on laws or bills or whatever. What bill would I need for the United States signed by Triple H? What kind of stuff is that? Get out of the White House and get in the writer's room and make a good story. Why don't you try that for once? Like, what are you doing?
The reason that Triple H was there was because President Trump is appointing him to be on the Council of Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition, which he is reinstating. The idea behind this is to make America healthy again. Now, it is really important to note 2 things. Firstly, Triple H nor anybody else on this council will receive any money other than to pay off their travel or whatever, stuff like that, right? But they are not going to get paid for this. And the second important thing to clarify is this does not necessarily mean that Triple H is a fan of President Trump. It does not mean that politically he aligns with him. All it means is that President Trump has identified him as an expert in his space to help the country. Now, maybe Triple H is a fan of Trump, maybe he is not. What I do know is, depending on which aisle you are on, this news is either great or absolutely terrible. It is not going to be something which the IWC are going to stop talking about for a little bit of time.
Well, I was just on Twitter and WrestleCourt talking about he going to run for president for 2030, and I think he meant 2028. But I just told him, bro, you lying. But he said it's most likely, and I'm like, nah, man, we'll be dead by then. But I was just saying, hey, if he's there just to get a little something, making some business deals, hey, that's better than him running for president, because we don't want Hunter for president. At least not me. Oh, no, not me.
We have constant jobbers, we have constant bad Raws, bad Smackdowns, and we have bad PLEs that are just filled with a bunch of Raw and Smackdown level matches that nobody cares about because there's no story. And this dude has the audacity to be sitting up in the White House doing hype reels. Is this a game? We're literally living in a simulation at this point. This has to be a joke. What are we doing? We had WWE Unreal come out this week, which basically exposed multiple facets, of the way that things unfold behind the scenes in WWE. And honestly, quite frankly, the show was pretty garbage, but that's not even besides the point. Some of the stuff in there was cool, to see some of the behind the scenes stuff, but then it gets to a point where we don't need to see all this, okay? I'm tired of seeing Triple H after Rhea Ripley does her match. He's hugging up on her, getting all up close. He's like, Rhea, let go of that anxiety. You're amazing. Breathing up all in her face. Get out of the face and go book a good show, man. What kind of stuff is this? Triple H is an absolute jobber at this point, man. Then he goes into the White House. Donald Trump, I'm gonna make this bill. I'm gonna sign the law. I'm gonna blow some water and make a hype reel.
Boy, if
I can't book, can you make a good show? Please, that is all that I'm asking. I don't give a crap about you spitting water bottles at the White House. Make a good show. But instead of that, as I've been saying since the beginning of time at this point, it feels like, I've been telling you guys, if you skip every Raw and SmackDown this year and only watch the PLEs or watch the segments that Roman or Cena did, you would have missed nothing this entire year of WWE. You've wasted 8 months of the fans' time, and you have the audacity to sit back and after Mania 41, he says if you don't like it, he literally says F off if you didn't like it. Are you kidding me? And this dude still has a job? The WWE Unreal show is all about about Triple H. It literally starts off, there's a line taken out from Jerry Lawler, I think, and it's like some snippet where it literally says, it's all about Triple H, some moment from commentary back in the day. I'm like, yes, it is all about Triple H. His ego has taken over and made him a problem. I've been saying this for months and months and months, and everyone's like, dude, you're hating, man, you're hating. Well, now look at it. You're getting bad shows, the viewership is declining, the quality is heavily declining, and none of the stories are good, and there's no hype for a SummerSlam that is tomorrow, and it's 2 nights for the first time ever, and you still don't care. Why do you think that is? Huh? TKO's fault? Is it The Rock's fault? No, it's Triple Ford's fault for blowing water bottles at the White House instead of booking a good show for us fans who want to see professional wrestling be great again. This guy's out here again. He's filming Unreal. It's all about him. He films podcasts. He takes time out to shoot podcasts. His wife Stephanie McMahon now has a podcast, okay? He does press. He does the post shows for the PLEs. He takes credit for ideas like he took some credit, I think it was a couple months ago. He kind of took credit for Jey Uso yeeting and stuff like that. We're going to put the rocket on you, Jey. We're going to get you ready to win a world title and have a garbage reign and then drop it on a random Raw to Gunter. Really? Listen, this show, this company, Triple H, is a absolute disaster. There's nothing good that you can extrapolate from any of these current shows that we have been getting for this year. It's been an absolute disaster class, and it needs to be taken seriously. No one wants to talk about it and be honest about it, but this is the reality of what's happening inside of this company. This company is dying week after week after week because nobody cares. Triple H can go anywhere and do anything, but the one thing he will not do is give us a good show. It's like it's impossible for this jobber to get it done.
And that's why you guys should watch AEW. Because if you guys want to see some action pack, you will know what to watch.
And every single week, the SmackDown and the Raw reviews get shorter and shorter and shorter because nothing happens, and I don't care what happens. I have not watched a full episode of Raw or SmackDown from start to finish. I can't even tell you. Maybe like the Raw on Netflix show from earlier this year, the premiere of it, maybe in January. Since then, I can't tell you one episode of Raw or SmackDown I've watched completely. I really cannot. I do not care, and a ton of the fan base feels the same way at this point because this is just the reality of the situation. So now that we're done bashing the absolute monstrosity that is WWE and the absolute disaster class job that Hunter Hearst Helmsley has been doing so far over the last year and some change at this point, now we can get into the actual review for Friday Night Job Down. We started off with John Cena coming out, okay? He basically, out of nowhere, he's been heel for months and months and months, but out of nowhere, he basically comes out and thanks Cody Rhodes. He wants to thank you. He wants to respect you. He wants to love you. He wants to appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? John Cena goes out and basically says thanks Cody Rhodes for giving him the push that he needed to become the classic version of John Cena yet again. He says he needed this. He says he needed this. He wanted this. He appreciated this. He knew about this. You know what I'm saying? He's proud of this. You know what I'm saying? John Cena basically says all that stuff and that he needed this moment so that he can finally, get back to what he once was, okay? And he says that he basically screwed up by chasing someone else's idea, I guess referring to The Rock there. He chased someone else's idea and completely forgot who he was, and everyone around him left him. And I'm like, number one, it's very easy to tell, at least in my opinion, I'm assuming that this is a fake, temporary face turn. When they actually get to SummerSlam, I'm sure he'll probably win the match in a cheap way, even though it's all no DQ because it's a street fight, but still, he's going to use some tactic or something to win. I doubt John Cena stays face, you know what I'm saying, through SummerSlam, and if he does, I assume Cody would turn heel. But you know what? With the way the booking is and how bad it is, we're probably not going to get any Rock, no Travis Scott, no interruptions, no nothing. And Cena may just win clean, or Cody may just win clean, a babyface versus babyface match. Triple H does it all the time. I mean, look at Tiffany and Jade. You had Tiffany coming out last week and helping Jade against a conflict that she had nothing to do with.
Sorry, did I mention that Kyle Fletcher is the new TNT champion? I just wanted to let y'all know.
It's the dumbest booking ever, but it is what it is. So we don't know what's going to happen with that. But that's the situation there. John Cena basically says he wants to take the title home with him at the end of the year, in order so that he can basically make sure the fans do not forget about him. So he wants to be the last real WWE champion. And I'm just sitting to myself, I'm like, dude, let's be honest here. You're John Cena. You're advertised as the greatest of all time. It's been this way for a couple years now at this point. If you actually, once you actually retire at the end of the year, no one's going to forget about John Cena. He's arguably the biggest wrestler ever. Like, what are you talking about at this point? That was stupid. Then he basically says, Cody, you did what a great friend would do. You motivated me. You pushed me. And you helped me get out of a dark place. So now, the champ is here. And if you want some, come get some. And now John Cena basically says he's like, I'm going to be back to fight and dig down deep and pull out the best version of myself in order to finally beat you. You know what I'm saying? Again, at, at SummerSlam for the title. And then after this, Cody Rhodes and John Cena libate together. They sit there and they pop their little Wheatley American vodka bottles and they literally sit there and drink they drink their libations together. They make a little cheers, they smile together, and that's it. Cody Rhodes is sitting back there smiling as if this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Nobody gives a crap if this dude you're fighting against turned face. You just were beating the crap out of him and forcing him to sign a contract a few weeks ago, which, by the way, if John Cena manages to get pinned in this match, he should easily be able to say he never actually signed the contract under his own will. Therefore, the match is called off and he should get the title back. So either way, John Cena should walk out of this weekend as the WWE champion. So it really doesn't matter who wins the match. John Cena is going to be the champion, or he should be the champion if the booking makes any sense, which is probably not going to, because Hunter Hearst Helmsley is too busy at the White House with freaking water bottles when he doesn't know how to book. But still, John Cena should walk out with the championship. It's just how it makes sense, but it is what it is. It's probably not going to happen that way, but I don't know who cares? Who cares? Genuinely, who cares? Let's move on. John Cena basically, drinks his libations with Cody Rhodes. They make a cheers. He holds the belt up multiple times, gets great reactions from the crowd, and then we end the segment. That's it. He stands tall with the belt. They come in, Cody, take their libations together, and they move on. It is the dumbest and most waste of time segment like ever made. And it's just absolutely stupid. So whatever. It's an obvious dupe. Cena's not going to probably be faced for another month or two. But again, it is what it is. You can't convince these jobbers to do anything good. So whatever.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same page because I ain't buying it either. But here's some memes in case you want to be entertained by it. So you can screenshot if you want. Let's continue.
We then move on to get Julia versus Zelina Vega for the U.S. title. Nobody cares about this match. Now, in all seriousness, there was a bunch of botches in this match. There were a few decent spots, but mainly it was just an average or below average match with a bunch of botches. And that's just what it is. Zelina Vega is magically kicking out of superplexes and like signature moves now, which makes no sense because she's never done that before, but now she can do it. And then Julia, at the end, Zelina Vega botches a moonsault very badly, and it was basically about to land on Julia's head, so she had to block it with her knees. And it was just a very embarrassing and bad looking spot. But at the end of the day, Julia ends up retaining, and she stands side by side with her new assistant there, Kiana James, and that's it. This is forgettable. No one's rewatching this. This was a pretty bad or mediocre match, and that's it.
Okay, I just want to give a shout out to Chris Van for doing this interview with Zelina Vega that dropped yesterday. It's a really good interview. If you guys want to check it out, I'm put the link in the description so that way you guys can check it out. If you guys want me to do a reaction video to it, let me know in the comment box. Give me 3 comments. 3. Just give me 3 comments that you want me to do a reaction video to Zelina Vega interview with Chris Van, and I'll do it. But you got to give me 3 comments in order for me to do the reaction video. So give me 3 comments, and I'll do the reaction video of Zelina Vega with the interview with Chris Van. All right? I checked it out yesterday. It's really, really good. So, but not yesterday, but the day before that. So just want to let y'all know. But y'all comment down below and let me know if you want me to do a reaction video to it. But you got to give me 3, all right? From 3 different people, not the same, all right? Let's continue.
We then move on to Mr. Iguana and Psycho Clown versus Los Garza. Nobody cares about this. Let's be honest with ourselves, man. These championships, the AAA championships, the tag belts, the fact that these are even being defended on a Raw or SmackDown shows you that there's nothing that they have to offer. WWE signs all these jobbers, and yet nobody can fill out the spots on these shows. Like Mr. Iguana, literally, he does like a Hurricane Rana, and Joe Tessitore's talking about some, oh, wow, look at this. And then a second later, he botches a move on the top rope and nearly falls down off the ropes. And then the next move, he does a springboard move and completely botched that as well. So it's like, what are we doing at this point? We glaze them when they do a good move, and then when they botch, everyone just goes silent and says nothing as if nothing's happening. It's the stupidest thing ever. Los Garza ends up retaining. The fans love Mr. Iguana. Again, I don't care about this. The fans will take anything at this point. The fact that Karrion Kross gets cheered sometimes is just embarrassing at this point. They'll take anything. You don't have to be a great wrestler. You don't have to be consistent. You don't have to be entertaining. You don't have to cut great promos or tell great stories or have elite matches. You don't have to do any of that stuff. All you got to do is if, you just do something that catches on with the audience every now and then, and you'll just get over naturally. Or you can have some artificial push on social media, and that's basically it. So it is what it is. Or you can have an artificial push in the ring, too. We then get a backstage segment with Tiffany and Jade Cargill, and Jade Cargill basically just says, I'm going to take the title tomorrow. There's no distractions, no interruptions, and I'm going to take that title from you. I don't care about this match. They haven't built it correctly at all, and this build has been terrible, man. SummerSlam at the end of the day is a situation where it's like all of the build for this and the storylines for all of these these matches and stuff basically suck. So we're basically hoping that every match can be great or amazing in order to make up for it. But we all know that's not going to happen to every match. So this SummerSlam at best will probably be a 6 out of 10, and that's being generous, so we'll just see what happens. And then D-Lister Black and Damian Priest fight each other. No one cares about this. There's a lot of corny moments from Damian Priest, like firing himself up during the match. He gets beat up afterwards by D-Lister Black, and I can't even tell you why D-Lister Black is doing all of this. I really can't. Why? Because Damian Priest defended R-Truth in a backstage segment 2 months ago, and now we're fighting and we're just throwing each other against steps and beating each other up. Like, there's no good storyline for any of this stuff, so nobody cares.
Boy, I bet you that Ron Kelly regrets re-signing his contract with WWE. Should have went to TNA, man. He would have killed it over there.
Damian Priest gets beat up after the match, and it ends in a DQ, whatever. Then we move on from this. We got Tala Tonga versus Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu came out, and guess what happened? They brawled! Yay! Like, dude, get out of my face, man. It's the same segment over and over again. We can just skip this, bro. Nobody wants to see Jimmy Uso versus the same, budget Temu Bloodline members for the 50th time. So let's move on. Then we got Jelly Roll and Randy Orton brawl with Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre and Logan cut a promo to begin it. The segment, obviously, they roasted the green shirt guy who's like at every one of the big WWE events, and that was pretty much it. They brawl. No one cares. Like, we can essentially just move on. Nobody cares. So that's basically your SmackDown, your full-on rant for what's currently happening with this garbage product week after week. And as per usual, just stay tuned for this week. And I don't even want to know how bad SummerSlam is going to be at this point. Because there's a very, very, and I mean like a less than 5% chance this show is even a 7 out of 10 or better. So if it even hits that would be impressive, honestly, at this point. But I still wouldn't care because it's not good enough. I expect every SummerSlam or Mania to be at least an 8 or 9 out of 10 minimum. But that's just me, though. We'll see what happens. I give this show probably a 1 out of 10, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned for the SummerSlam reviews. I will be reviewing both nights, and there you have it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out, and one love.
Well, I agree. SmackDown was trash. That's just where we at. But is this SummerSlam is going to be trash? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this right now. If I get sleepy, I will watch it the next day and do another live stream. But I will try to watch all of it. But if I get tired, I'm most likely turning it off and I'm watching it the next day. I'm sorry to say it. But listen, we got 2 nights. It starts at 6. Hopefully it ends at 10. But if it don't, like I told you, I will go to sleep and I will wake up and finish it up. So, look, get in the comment box and let me know what y'all think about SummerSlam, bro. Because everybody's talking about surprises and all that, title changes and all that. Listen, man, I don't know and I don't care. The only matches I care about is the tag team match for the women's titles and the Intercontinental title shot with the people that you see in front of the screen. All right? That's all I care about every day. Oh, and the 6-man tag team match. The 6 tag team match. Yeah. So 3 matches I care about, but everything else I'm like, I mean, Karrion Kross thing is I care about a little bit because I want him to win so he can keep his job. But if he has to go, there's a place for you to go, and that's AEW. Yay! Go over there. Okay? Take Scarlett with you. Okay? So, but we'll see what happens, man. That's 4 matches for me. But y'all comment down below and let me know which match are you looking for the most. It's okay if you do multiple, but be specific, okay? Don't just comment, oh, I want to see every match. No, pick 1, 2, and 3. I picked 4, mainly 3, but yeah. Pick which match whatever you see what's on the front of the screen, right? So just pick a match and just comment down below and let me know which match are you looking forward to. Are you looking forward to the women's title match? Rather, it's the Intercontinental title, the women's world title, the tag team titles. Are you looking for the men? The WWE Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship. Wait, is the world? Yeah, it is. The tag team championships, the United States Championship, the Intercontinental Championship. Which one are you looking for? Comment down below. Let me know. Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And I'll see y'all at 6 o'clock for the live stream. All right? I will be seeing y'all there. All right, I'm out.